The Honorable Speaker, Moses Wetangula, recently spoke of some MPs receiving letters for appointment of teachers. And I know that matter was live, even in Parliament, by some members of Parliament yesterday. As the head of Parliament, how do you respond to this? Is Parliament an extension of the executive, or the recruitment agency of the executive?
Okay, Latiff, let me remind you again politely that we're here to discuss and take stock of Katiba at 16.
Indeed it is.
And so I have not come here to discuss rumors that are out there. What you can do, when I come to your TV station, that will be a valid question to ask. So I politely decline to answer.
Okay. Let me remind all of us that we are here to account for Katiba at 16. It is our constitution. The offices that we created are accountable to the people of Kenya in all things that they do, whether they are passing laws or blocking laws. So, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, yes, respectfully, I tell you that the question I'm asking is about accountability.
No, it's a valid question,
Parliament.
And as you said, and as I've told you, that for today's session, there's no answer to that. But I can confirm to you that yesterday, the Education Committee was waiting to summon the Teacher Service Commission, because that is the independent commission that is charged to do with the recruitment of teachers. If they are doing it in a different manner other than provided by the law, then they are the ones to be called to account. And that's why I'm saying that's a conversation for another time, not today.
There's no better day than today, but let's move to the next one. Honorable Speaker, Amason Kingi, you're Speaker of the Senate. You served as the county governor for 2 terms, and you know the role of the Senate that we, the people, established is to defend and promote democracy, devolution. And I want to ask today, is the Senate protecting counties? And can you give us examples where the Senate has actually protected counties, and from what?
Thank you for that question. Indeed, the constitutional mandate of the Senate is basically that, to protect the interests of the county governments. And it does that in different fronts. First is when we are doing the division of revenue between the national government and the county governments. That is where the Senate then pronounces itself as a defender of the county governments. You will note that since inception of devolution, because of the the spirited fight by the Senate, the shareable revenue going to the counties has gradually been increasing. So yes, we have been fighting so hard to make sure that the county governments do not get a raw deal when it comes to sharing the revenue between the national government and the county governments. The other instances, of course, where the Senate comes in to protect the county governments. You've heard of this issue that is, I believe, still very much alive. That touches on the roads, for example. There has been a push from the national government on how to reclassify roads beyond what is presently provided for under the Constitution. And I think the Senate has taken a very firm stand on how we should handle that matter, again, protecting the interests of the county governments. So yes, the Senate has been there fund on behalf of the county governments.
Have there been instances, Honorable Speaker, when the Senate has felt the national government overreaching its mandate to claw into functions of devolution?
Well, if you look at Schedule 4, for example, which demarcates the functions that are preserved of the national government and the functions that are preserved of the county governments, for the period that we have experienced devolution, there has been, of course, a delay in unbundling these functions. And, but by and large, as we speak today, at Katiba at 16, a lot has been done, and unbundling has been done. What I think is remaining is costing of those particular functions. But again, under our law, a county government can enter into an agreement with the national government. Maybe a function is a preserve of that particular county government, but they can enter into an agreement with the national government to allow the national government to actually undertake that particular function. In such a case, we cannot say the national government is overbearing.
All right, I want to just progress that conversation to, of course, the chair of the Council of Governors, Honorable FCP Abdullahi. As governor who's also in your second term, are there instances where, as governors, you felt that the national government, and I'm not talking about the administration, I'm talking about the national government, has overshot its mandate to claw into devolution?
Thank you very much, Eric. Before I answer your question, let me set mine like everyone else was doing. Devolution has done extremely, extremely well, and it's the that everyone here that has been on this podium has said it's that one single takeout that has been very, very beneficial to Kenyans out of our 2010 constitution. And without giving numbers necessarily, if you just look at the expansion in healthcare, in agriculture, in early childhood education, the distances that have reduced for fetching water, and all the number of hospital beds, and I have the data here in a very refined manner, Devolution has done extremely, extremely well. Now, on the issue of national government and the whole matter of clawback, you'll have to understand that in a robust democracy such as ours, and where we came from, you know, we were not 47 countries coming together. We were one country, and we were not coming out of war, right? We had a very strong centralized government. And the clamor for the new constitution was partly to spread that power at the center and devolve resources and decision-making over those resources. So there'll always be areas of conflict between national and county government. And this is why we have a very elaborate architecture of intergovernmental relations. And we try as much as possible to solve disputes intergovernmentally, right? And at times then, when we don't quite agree, that's why we have courts. And this is the same everywhere.